I am Menza. I post a game every day until I reach 500 elo. I am currently rated 447. Okay, so we're black, and we usually like to get into the Caro Con here. And see exactly what develops from that. So, and okay, so they don't push. Which actually means I believe I take. And just make sure I feel rusty with this a little bit. So I had a few games where I was white, and now that is coming in to hit this square here, so we have to be very observant of that. So one of the good things to do is to probably kick this knight out of there right away with this pawn. And oh, they take my pawn. Okay, so I guess maybe I didn't really see that happening. We'll get that pawn up here. Start, perhaps they're gonna develop that to that happening, and so that is obviously protected by the other knight. And we're gonna start getting more pieces out here, and this knight can come up. I can start thinking of where I'm going to decide to castle. And now they're attacking that bishop, and I will retreat it. Do I go all the way back here and just have a safe haven for him? And I think I like that, because now if it ends up getting where I do castle on the king's side, I've got quite a bit of defense there. And I usually like to get my king to here. And we got to decide where we are going to end up going for castling. Now this almost looks like a London setup, but see, they would have attacked it anyway, but still that bishop is going down to here, which is protected. My queen can come out. No, she can't. And they are focusing a lot on the king's side. So do I consider doing the queen's side for castling? My knight has to go over here to be able to even consider that. And because then I can get my queen up here, so they've done that. And if I take, then that automatically moves my queen. Okay, which is now looking down there. We just have to watch what they're doing, because they have things coming in, I guess, on every side. So I have to just look at which side would be better for castling. And when I look at the king side, it does look safer in the way that I have a lot over here. If I take that, okay, my queen is not under attack at the moment. Nothing like that is. So I will go on the king side. and it's cold out, so it's actually warmer than it normally is this time of year for here, but it's cold. I'm cold, I should say. And so I put my huggle on and probably cold from eating. And I take that, they take me. They do it with that pawn or that pawn, okay. Then my queen. I'm going to develop my other rook, and I should put it on this file, I believe. This knight, either way it comes in, it could be taken, so it's not like it's going to trap anything. And yeah, I would like to get on the same file as the queen at the end of it. And it's open on my side. So now if I take this, they can't take back with that pawn. They could take with the knight. They have moved their queen up. So let's look at now. If I take with my knight, then they're going to take back. And then I can take back. So just depends, obviously. If they take with a pawn, I'm not going to take with my bishop. And okay, so that is what they've done. Now that knight is protecting that still, and I could consider getting my bishop here attacking the queen. We just have to see exactly what they have that they can do. Like if they come here with their knight, they get taken, so that's not anything really. So I kind of like that for my bishop. And obviously, they are probably going to move their queen. And does seem like I could get other pieces and like my queen could get in on that too. Like if my queen comes up here, puts them in check. Because the queen is right now going to have to move or something has to go in the way. And there is only the knight to go in the way there. So the queen's going over there and she might be focusing on that. So if my queen takes their queen, I have the material is equal. If I go here, I put them in check, and then they take me with their queen. And then I would be taking back, and I would have my bishop up there. So, how exactly does that play out? Well, it stops them from castling. No, it doesn't, because the queen can take, okay. And if I take that, well, if I take that and the king has to be the one that captures, that would stop them from castling. Okay. Check. So now that move does stop them from castling. And I have out here, my bishop is going up there. That knight there. Okay, I got a couple of bishops looking up into their area. And if I bring this rook up and then bring it over, I can put them in check. I could take that file over, and I also have that file is got a pawn still. So I can't really take that very easily. I would have to start getting pawns advanced. So if I go here, make sure they don't have something with their knight that stops me from moving my rook over to here. Because right now they are stopped from going anywhere to attack there. So if I do that, they take back and their knight is there, eh? And their rook is on that as well. So if I just push that pawn, right now I can put them in check. And I'm still protecting that pawn with my rook. So if they take me, I take back. And let's see. So I will go ahead and put them in check. My bishop can also do some checking here. And there was a nice piece on the end of it, then it would be really good. Something my bishop could just take off, and they go there. So that pawn is protected. If they push, then I take there. And it's only the rook they have to take back with. So I'm looking all the way up there with that bishop, and if I come over here with this bishop, I can start thinking of getting that rook on the 7th rank. So it would stop this pawn in its tracks. The rook is just kind of kept in there. So does that look like an idea? I don't want to take focus off anything on my king's side here too much. So we'll do that. That sort of stops any king where he can go over on like this way for both areas. Now, if I can do another thing, like my bishop, it needs that to be taken off. So the knight protects that square now. Okay, so that is not something my rook can think of. And if I put my bishop there, they take. I can't take back because they take with their king. And now this here bishop needs something to do, or this rook needs to get over. If I put it there, am I going to put them both up like that, or put them in another sort of uh, place, and then I could start doubling them? I could double them on the other side of my pawns. And I gotta watch my time here because I'm already down a lot. They've got 15 minutes. So yes, we have to now obviously take that pawn. Okay, they're gonna take me back. And now they're looking at this pawn here. So we obviously have to protect it. And they're gonna start doing that. Okay, so if my bishop could come up here, but it obviously can't, and my rook can't come up there, it could go here. That really doesn't do a whole lot. So this bishop really wants to do something else. And they've got a lot of on everything. So now their rook is over here trapped, so their bishop is still over here. So do I start getting my king over and start getting into a lot of that? I think I want to do that. Queens are off, a few of the pieces are off, just there is two rooks to watch out for. That knight is moved, which makes it where I can now start looking at, if I go there with my bishop, I am attacking the knight, and if I do take the knight off, if they move that knight, then I take that rook. So my rook is protecting it, and their knight is not attacking anything where it is right now. So if they try to move that, I'm obviously going to end up taking their rook. And if they put that rook here, then they're attacking my bishop. And their king is in that, so we don't want that to be what happens. So it always gets into a lot of scariness. Okay. So if I take that knight, then they're going to take with their king. So I like the pressure that I have here that is pretty much stopped. And if I go up here, no, you're going to lose that. So let's continue moving my king over. If he gets close enough to that, he could protect it, and then that rook can move. Like the rook can come up here right now attacking the knight, and the knight can go here attacking that pawn. So I could also, no, I can't go there. Okay. So right now they've moved their knight, which means I can take their rook and they will take me back, and my rook will be attacked with their knight. So we will have to watch that. Okay, so now if I bring my rook up here or up here, let's see. Bring it here. I gotta watch being on the same color. That. So they're attacking my rook. And I would get their knight. And let's see. My bishop is doing my other rook. Okay. So you'll like I'll do that. They can't go here. So I won the exchange in what I had happened there. So now my king is going to get into this really big time and protect that pawn. And they're going to start advancing there. So now if I take right now, see, I can put them in check right now. And I wouldn't have both my rooks over there. I could get them over there eventually, maybe. And actually, this pawn right here is open to take. So if I take that, I'm protecting a few things. And okay, so let's take this pawn. I'm attacking that rook with my bishop now. And I'm up +3. This knight is not currently attacking anything, so I now can take it with my... No, I can't take it with my king. Okay, so Now, what else does this bishop look at here? This rook can come up, put him in check. And could see what else has to happen here. Seems like a lot of pressure, so I'll put him in check. And they're moving there, so at the moment, this is unprotected. And that is unprotected. They're both attacked by the king, so I could bring my other rook over here and protect my rook. So they are probably going to be obviously taking my bishop, and it looks like this can be taken, and then they take me back and I win that. So then it will be a rook and a rook versus a knight, and we've got to get more of the pawns. We got, so I've got pawn majority. I've got 6 pawns and they've got 5. So now if they take me back, then I can start looking at things. What did they do? They attacked that rook. So now if I go here, put them in check, they have to deal with that. And I have to watch. I can't just take defense off that rook to take that one. So I could still continue to put them in check if I need to. So if I go there and put them in check, then they have to go back. Check. So now they have to go on to this file. And that rook, I'll have to see exactly how that plays into things, because if I go here now and put them in check, they can come up here, and I can't obviously go here. If I go here and attack with that rook, now see, I've got, okay, my king, he is doing a pretty good job. This is where I can't take that. I could start advancing this, and I could take that pawn right now and start looking at advancing more pawns. Their knight is over on that side. Okay, so they can't come off defense of that pawn, or I take that as well. If their rook moves at all, then I'm going to put them in check. So I can keep my rooks kind of causing them problems. Right now, before I could take that pawn, I would have to move the other one here, I believe, now, because they have to be, well, they won't be protecting one another. They won't be attacked either, but still. So their king went there. Now if I go here and put them in check, I go here and put them in check, then they can't. They could go, I guess, here. Check. Okay, so now this pawn, they would have to move here to protect it. And if they go on that file, that rank there, then I take this pawn. So I I have to watch my time, obviously, and they have to watch that my king is right here with their knight and that pawn, so that does cause a problem. This pawn causes my king to not be able to go over, but my pawn here stops that one from getting anywhere. And if they put their rook over here, then I think that would be problematic for them, but we'll see. So it is their move. They're going there. Okay, so now I obviously can't take this pawn. If I bring that rook over to here, I'm attacking both pawns. This one would then be taken. And they can't get out of protecting that pawn. If their knight starts moving, then I can start looking at things for that one. And okay, they're there. Let's have a look if there is something. There, take that pawn. They're gonna put me in check. And obviously I can't go here and there, and I have to go here. So I guess I shouldn't have allowed them to check me. Now they can take that pawn. My rook can get over though and put them in check. They would advance probably to there, and then we have to see. Okay, so now if I go here and put them in check, they're not attacking anything, so I put them in check. And their knight, if I could somehow get up and in here, I can take that pawn, because right now I can take it with my rook. I have them in check. So they're going there. If I come over here and put them in check, then what exactly can they do? Okay, that is not where I can be taken, so check. Checkmate. Okay, great. That was awesome. Thanks very much for watching. I was really trying to get my rooks coordinated, and they seem to do pretty good, I think. And thanks very much. Bye.